Let that one go all the way through there, didn't you, Ray?
No, because I didn't have enough because we didn't run an email today, so that's why.
Yeah, we're flying blind. I'm in Vegas, and things are off the handle, off the rails already. Producer Ray is going to do his best. I'm going to shit on him the entire time because he made my life hell. But I would like to tell you what I would like to say. I would like to say this. Here's who else is making some people's lives hell or about to. Elliot Wolf. Who's in charge down there, Bobby? Who's in charge in Foxborough? Do we really know? And did Mike Vrabel just subtly tell us he's going to burn cash via Gerard Mayo last year? What the fuck is happening down there in Foxborough? We're going to get a live report from the Combine with the new head coach of the New England Patriots and get some answers. That's what I'd like. I'd like some answers. Until then, let's start with some opening takes. Raymond?
Great. Mike Vrabel saying all the right things. Down in the Combine, like you just said, Rich, he's meeting with the media. Earlier this week, Vrabel checking every Patriots fan's wet dream. In order to win, you need to get good players. Check. You got to spend money on that one car. It's unique. It's priceless. Of course, it's going to cost you a lot more money. Check. And then I wouldn't take this job if I couldn't have final say on the roster. Check. And my vinegar stroke face, ooh, we're there. Because Mike Vrabel said all that this week, and it's perfect.
Awesome. Nailed it, Ray. Great job.
Yep,
Bobby?
thank you. Oh, God.
All right, we've gotten to this time of the year again. I know everybody is excited. It is that time, and you guessed it. It's Tournament of Champions, Season 6. Food Network starts off this Sunday. It is back. We get to watch these culinary warriors battle. Once again, it is fantastic. We will watch it, and we will enjoy it.
Bobby Flay Burgers right downstairs. You a Bobby Flay or a Gordon Ramsay guy, Bobby?
If I had to choose, I would take Flay.
Obviously, first name.
Ramsey's
You were
a
a narcissist at heart. That makes sense. My opening take, Jason Tatum is the man. I've told you this before. He's starting to get some credit. They had on the national media, Stephen A. Smith show, the Get Up show. The disrespect Jason Tatum is getting for being the best player on the best team continues, although it shouldn't. We've been telling you for a long time, this kid is great. He's going to be great. He's breaking all kinds of records. I don't know what it's going to take for him to get the respect. He's going to have to get arrested or something, probably. That's how it usually works in the NBA.
You need some street cred.
But until then, they continue to dominate at just the right time as we move into playoffs in a month or so. Celtics are looking up. There's a little question mark there mid-season. But maybe this is – here's the I'm going to bring this full circle. Maybe we'll look back on this in a year or so and go, this is what a championship team actually looks like. Because there's still doubts. We know there's still doubts. Everybody can be one and done. But if they go repeat and then we come back to this and go, yeah, that's what championship teams do. They come back, they hit a lull in the middle of the season because they played a lot of basketball and they get bored, and then they ramp it up when they need to. Maybe, hopefully, that's what we're seeing from the Boston Celtics right now. I'm done. You're real quick on the trigger there, Ray. What we're going to do now is throw it over to producer Ray, because I actually my eyes are closed, so I'm not even looking at the screen, and let him lead us through one of the greatest performances in Simple Minds sports history.
Right now? By you. Thank you there, Rich. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Bobby?
Well, actually, let me just stop you there, Ray, because at this point in the segment, we do the show rundown. So why don't you tell the listeners what we're going to be listening to tonight?
Not only are you going to be listening to Rich's drunk ass for the night, but we're also going to be talking about the Patriots and the Combine. Mike Vrabel, Elliot Wolf all took the microphone. They talk about who has final say and who doesn't. They also talk to some college kids, Abdul Carter, who's projected number 1, Mason Graham. We have some clips of that. Also, Jason Tatum wanted to shut the Canadian fans up there because of the last game they played. Also, up and down the totem pole are 10 questions with Bobby. I forgot which one we have tonight. 10 questions with a guy named Rob. And then we finish the show with Simplest Minds of the Week. Steve Smith's in the news, and it's a doozy. So there you have it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. Friday Rewind Live Special Edition Wednesday from Las Vegas. Place undisclosed, February 26th. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
I'll take it from here, Ray. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome, as always. New room for Bobby. Well done. Ray, you look good. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platforms, whether that be Spotify, iTunes, we are the #1 Boston sports podcast on iHeartRadio. We haven't said that in a while, but we are, and we're self-proclaimed on iTunes. So suck my balls. And wherever you're listening or watching, rate, subscribe, review. Tell your friends, as always, tell your mothers. Tell them about our newsletter, which is on SimpleMindSports.com. You're going to get the latest blogs, the latest pods, short for podcasts for all you newbies, and all the relevant entertainment coming from these three idiots. Simply just go to SimpleMindSports.com, put your email in. We'll give it to you every Friday. Real easy and simple. Keep it simple. Stupid. Ray, Mike Vrabel, the combine has started. The NFL season never ends. We are now in the off season. They're at the combine. Mike Vrabel spoke for, I think the estimate is, let me look at my notes, 4.5 hours, pretty sure, in total. He said a lot of things, as did Elliot Wolf, who did not speak for as long, but just as entertaining of things or thought-provoking of things, Elliot Wolf had to say. But more so Mike Vrabel. I know you got some clips, and I know we're running a little bit wild here, a little bit off the cups. So jump them in whenever you want. But if you guys have any initial thoughts on the Mike Vrabel, what do you want to do, a clip?
I want to do a clip. Let me give you Elliot Wolf first.
Last season, ultimately, the roster was on me. We were 4-13. Just didn't get enough done. Certainly the free agency class didn't live up to our expectations. The draft class, it's too soon to tell, but we were expecting a bigger impact from some of those guys, and we're still hopeful that they'll get to that point. The fans understanding their frustrations. I share those frustrations. It's been difficult. Every hit on Jacoby or Drake during the season, I felt responsible for that. Just ultimately we didn't get enough done up front. The game is always won on the lines, offensive line, defensive line, not just because of the Super Bowl. It's always been that way. And, ultimately, just didn't do enough to improve the roster to get it to where we need it to be.
Bobby, was he crying?
He sounded like a quibbling child. That is the most saddest sack of an NFL executive that there must be. And I can't imagine that Mike Vrabel wants that man anywhere near him or his football team.
He also sounded like he was nervous, like, I don't know what to do, like, right now with all the lights. Like first time ever speaking in front of the media, bud? Like, what's going on?
It was just an absolute sad display of someone that's supposed to be an executive.
Yeah, for the confidence that we had with Vrabel and the hires and the coaching hires, it feels like every time they get in front of the mic, well, except for Vrabel, who's as confident as a human being can be. Anytime Elliot Wolf or one of these squids gets in front of the mic, it's like, ooh, shit, like this guy. And I don't know if you have the clip, Ray, but Elliot Wolf was asked who has the final decision in rosters, and this is what he had to say.
Just to clarify, do you have final say on the
Ultimately, it's my final say. But again, Mike said it yesterday. Mike wouldn't have taken this job, and this is something we talked about in the interview process. Mike wouldn't have taken this job if we weren't comfortable with each other. There's not going to be Mike's guys or Elliot's guys. They're going to be Patriot guys, and we're excited to share the vision to work together to improve the roster.
Now we want to hear. Didn't Vrabel earlier in the season say he had the final call? Isn't he on
final say when it comes to making personnel decisions?
Well, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have wanted to be the head coach here if I wasn't comfortable in my impact on the roster. So we want to, continue to have great conversations with the personnel staff, with me, with Stretch, with coaching. We're all just trying to find ways to bring the right players in here.
Yes, he did.
Oh, well, okay, wait, no, he didn't actually. He walked right around it, and he initiated, or God damn it, too many fucking beers. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. He made it seem like that he did have final say, but he actually didn't say it. Elliot Wolf actually said it, so we know the hierarchy. Elliot Wolf has final say on the actual roster. Mike Vrabel obviously has massive input on that, and they are trying to coexist together, which I would go, and Bobby said this a long time ago when they didn't fire Elliot Wolf at first. And Bill, I know you're not listening, but fuck you, you're wrong. Elliot Wolf is not gone after the draft. This guy's here to stay. He's a craft plant that they think is good because he's from the Packer system and they like that whole thing. And Elliot Wolf is yet to prove that he can do his job. And now we are 100% reliant. The Patriots are 100% reliant, and Elliot Wolf not bubbling in fucking tears in a negotiation with whatever trade AJ Brown and the Eagles whatever trade thing they're, this is not, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not great. You're not looking at a positive outlook right here. Mike Vrabel exudes a lot of confidence. If you give him the ropes, you probably have a better chance. But I know I'm talking a lot. Let me just say this. Mike Vrabel has never done the front office thing either. Okay, so he has no track record of being good at this either, especially not in trades. I'm sure in Tennessee it's reported he had a lot of input in the drafts, but he was never the final call, and those drafts are not that great anyway. So, look, you've got a massive question mark in the front office and personnel department for the New England Patriots right now. And again, this goes back to the Crafts. They could have solved this when they blew everybody else out. They could have brought in a very experienced general manager to team up with Mike Vrabel to walk him through what it takes to run a front office in the NFL. And they didn't. They stuck with their guy, Elliot Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, execs are just as aggressive as coaches and the players. There's a reason why they get there. There's wolves and sheep, and Elliot Wolf is no wolf. He's a sheep, and the rest of the NFL decision makers will know that, and they'll walk right through him. He's literally crying in an interview where he's having to be accountable for himself. So they're going to take him seriously when they try and trade back, or whenever they try and do anything with other teams, when they're trying to move assets, they will fuck with the Patriots. They will take what they want. They just won't do the deal because they know that they don't need to, and there's no respect there. There has to be respect amongst executives in order for them to be able to do this sort of business. At best, Wolf is a spreadsheet guy. He isn't someone that can manage the relationships and the businesses needed for a successful organization like this.
It reminds me at lunchtime with you guys, like pretty much I'm Elliot Wolf and you guys are other general managers in the NFL. And I go, hey, Bobby, can I have your pudding? He goes, no, fuck you. Give me Drake May and your first round pick tomorrow. And I'll be like, okay, that sounds like a swell deal. I don't want any trouble here. Here, Bobby, have all that.
That actually is very astutely close to what our lunches in high school were like when we played the I Call It game. And we would just call lunches off of people's plates. And you
had to do something like chug your milk.
No, you guys always used to say, I call you take care of all the trash at the table. And like every day I'd stay late and pick up trash on the end of the table.
For all the young folks listening, that's called respect for your friends and authority of the game, okay? Which is what we don't see a lot.
We don't see it anymore.
We did a lot of shit like that, which was a lot of fun that I think these kids would appreciate the respect that it takes that you learn.
There's no authority figure, saying you have to do it because he called it. No, you just had respect for the game, so you did it.
Yeah,
and then you know that later you'll make a call and you expect that call to be completed in its entirety.
That's right.
Yeah, like when I say no, fuck your mother, Bobby. I fucked her guy.
Yeah, I say you call. I say no authority, but if you did not comply, there was a heavy chance you had a week of cock slaps coming your way. So. I guess
you only do it once. You only do it once. There's one time you're like, you're not gonna cock slap me, and then you fucking do it, and you're like, oh.
There's actually a pretty salient comment from Superfan Patrick. If you could put him up there real quick. Superfan Patrick says, "I don't have any respect for Ray." Then he goes on to say, "Bobby is pushing it too." So there you go. Negative Nancy. Grow up, Patrick. Everything sucks right now. Ray lost the job for me, so. Everybody's going to deal with what they got to deal with. Where do we go from here, Ray? You're muted, you dumb fuck.
Want to talk about free agency?
Mike, how would you describe how the team will approach free agency?
Hopefully aggressive. I mean, we want to be aggressive. We want to target players that we feel like are going to help us. They're going to be outstanding players. They're going to be outstanding additions to the locker room and the community. And if that all fits and the compensation fits, but I'm confident that we'll be aggressive. We've started some of those discussions internally. And I think having different plans and having an option A and option B, I mean, things are going to change. Everybody's looking at the same players. So we have to be ready to pivot and adjust and have a vision for each player, I would say, at each level. You know, I mean, there's going to be this high level that things are going to get done very quickly. That'll transition then to, you know, maybe just some mid-range dollars, and then obviously you look at opportunities. So free agency gets broken down into, you know, compensation, and then it gets broken down into opportunity. And I feel like we're in a position to offer both as far as compensation and opportunity for some of these players.
Let me tell you this. As much negativity as we just started this conversation with, I think they have a plan. I think that they're willing to spend. I've been saying this for a year, and at least Ray has been telling me I'm wrong. The Patriots will spend this year. It's now documented. You hear it from Bedard. You hear it from Felger Maz. The Patriots spend on a 3-year cash cycle, and you have to stay within the parameters of that. And you're out of that now. So 2021, 2022, whenever they had that big spending spree to bring Hunter Henry in here and Jonnu Smith and those guys, you're out of that. So you can redo it. I think they tried to redo it last year. They just failed because Elliott Wolf is a bumbling idiot. So what you have to hope for on the heels of everything we just talked about is Mike Vrabel has enough respect and cachet throughout the league that he can get his voice in there in the negotiations, which I do think will happen, Bobby. I don't think they're sending Elliott Wolf without Mike Vrabel anywhere. I don't think unless like outside of they're already in a contract negotiations. If they're trying to bring a free agent in or they're going for a trade, I think Mike Vrabel is in on every one of those conversations, which I think you need at this point because Elliott Wolf is obviously, as we just stated, inexperienced and not
piss his pants.
Yeah, he has not proven that he can do the job. You have to hope that Mike Vrabel can, not because he has the skills or the experience either, but just that his presence and cachet from his experience in the league lends some support there. Which in this league, it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It goes a long way. And Gerard Mayo, on the contrary, had none of it. He spent his entire career in New England, including his professional career outside of football. He had no contacts outside, so he had nothing to offer there where Vrabel does. Wolf is a deadbeat.
I thought you just said we were being negative about
Wolf
him.
is a deadbeat fuck, and we will see what the season. Well, my family is a bunch of hypocrite assholes, so that's what you get. What's your thoughts on that there, Bobby? On the and also let me ask this question: did Mike Vrabel just subtly say what Gerard Mayo said a year ago that we're going to burn some cash?
Mm-hmm.
He said it in the exact same thing that Gerard Mayo said. He just didn't say it like an asshole. Yes,
he
just
said it the way possible.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, I think they tried to burn some cash last year. I think they wanted Calvin Ridley. They just didn't play the market right, and they lost the player. I think they wanted the San Francisco wide receiver. Help me out.
Not Debo, but the other guy,
Ayuk. Ayuk. Brandon. I think they wanted Brandon Ayuk. You can say what you want about the contract that was reported out, how much of that was guarantees and how much not. We know the Patriots fudged the numbers there, but they put the most money on the table reportedly for Brandon Ayuk. So I think they were looking to spend some money, and it makes sense with the timeline. Again, you just failed from an executive standpoint. You just failed to get the players. So maybe Drake May makes a difference. Maybe Mike Vrabel makes a difference this year.
I agree with Vrabel that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Raymond. Then I'll go.
Do you think that if you get T. Higgins still, because you can get him via trade, or you get a DK Metcalf, that now you're willing to spend the cash? And obviously that Mayo was here last year and you weren't going to get any of these kind of guys, nor the quarterback landscape. Now you have Drake May going into year 2, more experience, better quarterback than anything you had last year.
I think, look, I don't have faith in Elliott Wolf because why should I? He has no experience of being successful, and in his one chance to do it, he failed in every aspect. He just told that while he cried into a cereal. However, with opportunity and experience generally comes better results. So I'm sure he's learned from last year. I'm sure they've learned from last year. I don't think they explored any trades last year where probably they should have. They just went for free agents. So we got a bunch of money. We're going to go get Calvin Ridley and boost up our team there. Also, their approach was bring everybody back because we think Bill Belichick was the problem. So we'll elevate everybody that's already here for cheap and fill the gaps. Look, they failed everywhere. But with that failed experience, maybe Elliot Wolf can be better at his job.
Yeah.
My comment here is twofold. One, to your point about re-upping everybody, I would not be surprised if they use some of all this cap space to cut some of these players that they gave money to last year and blow them out because they're malcontent assholes. There isn't enough good players in free agency to spend all that fucking money because Stanley's going to get signed. Higgins is going to get signed. All the good players are going to get signed unless they're going to sign a bunch of mid-level guys. I think they're going to blow some of these guys out that they don't want there and take the hit and then just roll over that actual money, what really matters, the real money, until they can have guys to spend it. To your Vrabel point, I think there is a sound of him saying that how he would approach the free agent market, how he's done it in the past, how he uses other player testimonials, and how he would describe how he would use the player and incorporate the player. So he did actually talk about it. There was sound.
Huh, there you go.
Well, you could have sent that along.
He sent
Fair
us
enough.
questions, man. What more do you want from him?
I'm sorry.
Right, moving on.
Yep.
Do you view this as a long-term rebuild, or you just mentioned you're looking to be aggressive in free agency? Are you looking for a rapid rate of improvement?
Well, we have to improve. I mean, I think that's the goal. I don't, our expectations aren't going to change. It's going to be to win the division. It's going to be to host home playoff games, and it's going to be to compete for championships. So we're never going to put a timetable or any sort of prediction on when that may happen, but it has to happen. And it's going to start April 7th when our guys come in. And we also have to understand that, we're not going to fix every issue on the first day of free agency, or we're not going to fill every hole on the first or second day of the draft.
Thanks, Mike. Speaking of filling holes, what's Irene up to tonight, Raymond? I'm in Vegas. She's got to have an empty slot in her schedule.
I like how you did that. Casino slots.
Thank you. Yeah, couple. That's called the Inception version of sexual innuendos, juvenile sexual innuendos.
Again,
Double
something
layered.
that kids don't fucking get anymore.
Double layered. Like
Do
your
they
mother's
even make
labia.
sex jokes anymore, or they just talk about video games?
I don't know.
Fucking
Video
nerds.
games are for fucking losers. How's your Fortnite career going, Ray?
Pretty good. I had a victory royale tonight. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. Victory Royale is what we call. What we call that at your mother's when we do anal.
Exactly. With a lot of guys.
Gay.
Oh yeah. That one didn't come off as well as you wanted to, Bobby.
No.
I need to take these comments off. So I keep reading the comments, and I can't do that. I get very distracted.
Well, because your cousin doesn't shut the fuck up.
Also,
Can't make sex jokes anymore because you'd have to assume someone's. He
Well,
said it, not me. I didn't say it. He said
that's racist, Patrick. I think
That's
Well, we're
very
both
racist.
we're into whatever, so it doesn't matter. We'll deal with it.
we are very gender neutral here.
Yeah, exactly.
We are fluid as fluid can be.
Yeah, we'll fill whatever hole you give us.
Bingo.
We just prefer it's your mother's ass.
Yeah.
Bingo again.
Bingo again. All right. Final thoughts on. You got any more clips there, Ray?
I like to shop like everybody else, and so when you go and there's only one of a certain car, maybe you have to pay a little bit more for that one car because there's only one of them. When you start to get into a range where you feel like there's an area where players are comparable and you like 3 or 4 players in a certain area for a certain role, you may not have to overspend. But it's free agency. I think that everybody overspends sometimes in free agency.
I told you this guy talked for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's very
How
nice.
many clips do you get from one day at the friggin' combine?
He seems to enjoy being up on the podium.
Yikes.
Well, at least he can enunciate, unlike Gerard Mayo, that guy.
Jordan Mayo enunciated. He just enunciated through corporate bullshit, swag bullshit.
Yeah.
Every other thing out of his mouth was some type of catchphrase. Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else? We got any final thoughts on Braves and the Patriots offseason as we move forward to the combine? We've got free agency starts next week, right? 7th?
Yeah,
March
next week.
7th?
Devin Gottschall has gotten permission to seek a trade. That's another breaking news that we had today.
Here's what I don't know if there was one in these clips or not because I'm not paying attention. Mike Vrabel was asked, about the roster, and he said basically, we're expecting to have a very different roster now from August. And hip hip hooray, huzzah, Mike. That's what certainly you need. And Bobby made the point of they probably cut a bunch of these malcontent douchebags. Which, yeah, like anybody that has a sour taste from previous regime should go. You're not giving up a bunch of any talent outside of Christian Gonzalez and Drake May, Mike and Winu maybe. If Julius Peppers is kind of a fucking wild card prick and carrying over from his charge that was not a charge, he was acquitted on that, or whoever, name the guy that maybe has potential but as a distraction. Yeah, you got to get rid of that guy. Gottschall, who Bill Belichick called one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, has been overpaid for years. He has been the loudest voice out of that locker room from a place of malcontent.
Yep.
And honestly, not a lot of it was like speaking out of turn. What we knew it was a shit show in there, and he was basically just letting everybody know. But you want foxhole guys, and it got to a point where
not one.
It doesn't seem like
the team either. They're not what they're going to do with their linemen. So I don't think that they want him.
So whatever, seek your trade, and what do you get for Devin Gottschall? 5th, a 6th?
Yeah,
like
sure. Whatever bullshit pick for a team that wants him.
Sure, and you'll eat his money and whatever. Get him out of here. I'm fine with that. I like a brand new roster. We've gone over the positions. Maybe we'll do that next week as free agency starts. Kind of re-hone on the positions of need and what they should do. Last point I'll make. Bedard made this point. I listened to it today. Covering Belichick, what Belichick would do in free agency of the needs on the roster of the positions, he would fill every single need in free agency with some level of player, some level of NFL caliber player. Maybe not a starter, maybe not even a second string guy, but somebody that could be competent and through coaching get in there and play for him. So when he got to the draft, he was not relying on the drafts to fill the need of that position.
They don't have to be a star right away.
Which, makes total sense to me. And Bill Belichick should get a lot of grief for the way he handled the Patriots at the end, certainly. But just on paper, that whole philosophy of, okay, we need a second cornerback. Okay, we need a left tackle. We need a right tackle. We need a defensive end. The Patriots have a lot of holes to fill. Irene joke inserted. Thank you. But if they can go out there in free agency and do a lot of that, so you have professionals on the team, which I have faith in Mike Vrabel identifying. So then you can get to the draft and go, let's find some fucking playmakers, man. Not reaching and not making decisions that are based off need and be based off leverage instead of need. So maybe Vrabel, a little bit of Belichick from that, although it seems like a pretty straightforward strategy.
So we want to get like a Cole Strange this year in the draft, reaching for a lineman that you desperately need and go after him in the first round. And when he's like third round talent.
Yeah, right. It felt like Belichick was just like fucking around, like Scrooge McDuck. I got all the money in the world.
Watch this.
I know what the playbook is, but it's boring to me now. So let me see if I can do it in some weird ass way that no.
What's Kuiper going to say about this?
Asshole. He didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That was Patriots off season combine. We're gonna do a. Did you headlines?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We're gonna do a
up and down the totem pole. 10 questions with a guy named Rob. Of course, they did headlines. I just didn't want to do headlines.
You're just saving your headlines for later?
Yeah, next week.
Absolutely.
Fits right into.
All right. Let's get into 10 questions here. Luka had his revenge game over the Mavericks from trading him. Will he succeed with the Los Angeles Lakers?
No, he's going to get diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fat. He's probably going to break an ankle or something.
If you say succeed in the next 10 years, which team will have more success? The Lakers with Luka Doncic or the Dallas Mavericks? The Lakers will have more success. So
I agree with that statement because the Mavericks are now a trash bag organization. So
So you know,
agree.
Luca may be a LeBron figure where he can never be the central point. You know, you're going to have to bring in, you know, a Jimmy Butler kind of guy to lead your team and let
One
Luka,
B kind of guy. Yeah.
yeah, and you know, kind of be the leader guy. But I don't know. I'm not giving up on Luka Doncic. I like the fat shaming. I'm here for it. It's great.
Okay, good.
But I also like fellow beer drinkers and who can ball. So I'm on Team Luka there too. And then also he's 25. Like you get to 27,
He looks much older.
you get to 27. Like I mean, also
Those Eastern
those
European guys, though,
they're
fuck,
built
man, they-
different, man.
they are.
Look at Jokic. Like he's not ripped, but remember that year he came back and he lost like 60 pounds. Like there was a interview of him at practice one year when he came back. This was before he was Jokic because he was fat before. Then he came back, and I remember watching it specifically going, "That's Nikola Jokic. Like that doesn't look like the same guy. He lost like 50 fucking pounds or whatever." So I actually would not put that past Luka. So to answer your question, Luka will dominate the Mavericks. The Lakers and Luka will. The Mavericks are never coming back from this. Come on, let's be honest.
I agree. Should the tush push be banned?
No.
Yeah,
Just
I'm in
because you
agreement. You can't ban a play just because the team's good at it.
Yeah. Just because they perfected something, you can't ban it.
Of course you can. Just don't let the running back push the quarterback past the line of scrimmage. They used to have the rule. They got rid of it. Bring it back. Don't let the running back push the quarterback. Don't let anybody push the quarterback from behind. That's a very simple rule to implement. It'll eliminate the play. The play sucks. It makes the game boring. We're here for entertainment. Don't make it boring for me. I don't want to watch the Kansas City guy jump off sides 4 times trying to stop this stupid play that has no excitement to it. Just don't let the guy behind him push him. There you go. That's it.
Because then you're just running a quarterback sneak.
You just run a quarterback sneak. Yeah, you can't outlaw the quarterback sneak for sure.
Yeah.
But just don't let 400 pounds of
that
man
line of
behind
thinking.
him push him through the fucking line.
I wish you guys would ban the tush push on my mother.
I do.
Well, that's
I know.
never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah, no. That ass is far too sweet. Is college basketball a relevant sport anymore?
Not for me, and I don't think for the country either. I think
It's sad, honestly. College basketball growing up was one of the. It could have been
better
your
than the NBA
favorite sport
almost.
at times.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It was a beautiful event.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. I think college sports, we're on the precipice of the end of college sports as we know it with NIL and money. And you've got large money investors.
Goddamn right I do, Mooney.
Bobby loves buttholes. Super fan Patrick.
Don't act like you don't, Patrick.
He does. Anyway, yeah. College sports are on the precipice of being over. College football, NCAA college football will be the feeder program to the NFL in, I'll say 10 years on the over, but it could very well be under that.
They're going to turn it into where that it won't be a collegiate sport anymore. It'll be a pseudo professional league where all of those players are paid in the Power 5 conferences.
Yeah, they already are. And they're just going to have to figure out how to make the money go back to the school. And it's not even go to the school. It just goes to the board and whoever's taking the money from the school.
Donors. Yeah.
So make that work in whatever skeevy fucking way you want to do it. And that's how that'll happen. Money's going to ruin sports. I've been telling you this for a long time. 10 years from now, get back. Money will ruin sports. We won't be watching it.
What a fucking square Patrick is. You saw that?
Putting up
What a square.
We bring him on the show if we wanted every fucking comment from Superfan Patrick.
It was fun.
You can come on the show next week, Pat. Shut up.
Well, it's too bad that he'll miss this question because I'm sure he'll really like it.
All right,
What's your
answer this
favorite
question.
slang or nickname term for a penis?
Richard.
Yeah. I like hog.
Hog's good. I like
Dong.
a good Wang.
I've been
I go
partial
to
to
Wang.
dong lately.
I go to Wang to loosen it up, lighten it
Wang
up.
reminds me of Bobby. Bobby, that was his word of choice back in the day.
Wing wang. Yeah,
Wing
the wing
wang.
wang. Yeah. I like hog if I want it to represent like a nice thick one, you know.
Yeah, I've been
Look at
reading.
you.
I've been reading some books, some young adult adventure books lately. We can get into that. That should be another segment. But I don't know if you know anything about this genre, but they rank them in spice levels and spice means sexual content within the writing. And the high spice, they use the word cock a lot. And really, it takes me off every time I read it. Like grabbed his cock. Also, cock and member. Member. I think I might start using.
Members so old school.
I think I might start.
That just sounds his member.
I remember when Austin Powers Gold Member came out. I didn't understand like the whole joke behind it because who would call their dick a member?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd never even put that together until right now.
What?
Is the NFL Combine interesting to you?
No. Who wants
Yeah, it's
to?
boring
Speaking of members, who wants to measure dicks and see who can jump the far? This is stupid.
We just did 40 minutes on the NFL Combine, and all we talked about was free agency. So there you go. So you know about that.
Agreed. Alex Ovechkin, 12 goals away from tying Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goal record. Why hasn't some NHL goon just demolished Grampy by now?
Have you seen him? He's Russian. 1, he'll kill you. 2, he's really good on skates.
He is. What is it with hockey players that they get to play so long? Did they just stop getting hit? Does nobody hit him? Does he not get injured?
No, because they sell their souls to fucking play hockey at the elite level like that.
It is an interesting. You bring up 2 questions. The first is why hasn't anybody knocked out Ovechkin? Ray has the right answer. He's big, massive, and Russian and good, and that should be to his credit. The question of why can hockey players play so long because of how physically demanding a sport is a good question. Well, hockey players play forever. Maybe it's the intervals, like they only play 30 seconds at a time. Basically, they play 20 minutes a night.
Well, it's like you and Bobby taking turns with my mother.
Look, you're doing this to yourself.
I always go first.
That boy, Bobby, I'm proud of you.
I can't do the enthusiasm with the first effort and when
the first horn goes off.
No, he needs to watch to get a little worked up.
Bobby's smooth ass.
Bobby's my
like, yeah.
I'm the opening act for the main stage. Comes in.
I actually had this Ovechkin conversation with
this conversation about Bobby being your fluffer.
We almost got there with the very handsome, smooth-talking Canadian who dined and ditched on a $500 bill of shots at the bar I was just at. I asked him because he was very Canadian. When I first met him, he screamed at the bar, Connor McDermott, greatest Canadian alive. So I asked him what he thought of the Ovechkin, and he wasn't too happy about it. That's Gretzky's record. And I don't actually like it that much either. Like, he's just sticking around to break the record, which is kind of lame. But he is still really fucking good.
Yeah, but you can market the shit out of him now. Like, that's great for the NHL.
That, but that's why do I care about the?
No, the NHL does. NHL
I also don't give a shit about that. I like sports for sports, and he's chasing a record, which I think is lame. If he gets the record and retires immediately, boo. Find a way to erase enough goals.
Maybe he'll go the Yager route and play till he's 45. Bang.
I'd be on board with that. Like, if you're just a hockey freak and you play like Gordie Howe played till he's 60. Like, if you just want to do that, okay, cool, sure. Longevity counts for everything. I'm down. But if you break the record and then quit, I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
Records.
That's gross.
Don't chase records, especially Gretzky. Like, Gretzky's records are like the greatest records of all time.
We had a show about that.
Yeah. He's still not better than Brady, but
will Stafford play for the Rams next year?
Nope. He wants to get paid. This is his last contract.
They're going to pay him. They're dancing around it. They're going to give him enough money. He doesn't want to go play for some fucking shit team. The Giants for the
Rams already have their quarterback of the future in Joe Milton when he gets traded there for Cooper Kupp. So I mean, you're seeing the writing on the wall.
Have we talked about the Joe Milton controversy on the show?
I'm surprised that you didn't want to bring it up. I'm surprised that it took this long.
Okay, we're gonna break in the action. Put me on the big screen. We're gonna break in the action on Bobby's 10 questions in our text chain. It was brought up. We've now put this on social media. It was brought up. Do you trade Joe Milton for Cooper Kupp and a pick swap between the 5th and the 6th with the Rams and the Patriots? The sane member of our party here said, of course you trade Joe fucking Milton for Cooper Kupp. But the one native on the crowd said, no, Cooper Kupp's a washed up hack and Joe Milton's going to push Drake May. And that's what you need. You need a young Joe Milton pushing Drake May to greatness. So I give the floor to you, native. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't want the corpse of Cooper Kupp, who's already been phased out of the offense, and they're phasing him out of the team.
Can I pause him right there? Can you mute him for a second?
Yeah.
67 catches In 12 games, 750 yards, 6 touchdowns for Cooper Kupp last year. He had the same exact stats basically the year before that. And the year before that, he won the Triple Crown as a wide receiver. He's 31 years old. He's one of the smartest football players in the fucking league. He was a key component in the Rams winning playoff games this year, which they had no business doing. And if Matt Stafford wasn't a stupid asshole, they would have beat the Eagles if he just threw that ball to Cooper Kupp instead of throwing it over the sideline by 15 yards or whatever to end that game. They would have gone to overtime and probably beat the Eagles, and Cooper Kupp would have been in the Super Bowl again. Remember when he won a fucking Super Bowl? And the idea, look, you can think whatever you want about Cooper Kupp. You might think he's washed and he's 31. He's got injury histories. Okay, fine. The other side of this conversation is Joe Milton. Joe, what are we doing?
Didn't Bobby say Joe Milton was like one of the worst quarterbacks out of that draft? And now he's like the savior of the fucking Patriots?
The audacity to try and win this argument that Cooper Kupp is washed up is fucking ridiculous because the other side is Joe Milton. Come on. Like, for a sec, I stopped arguing on the text chain because I thought he was fucking with us. But there's a little inkling of truth. Bobby thinks that that's true.
What I want more than shitty Cooper Kupp on the team, who wouldn't want to play for this team, who would just be here for money and would play like 3 games and shut it down. He wouldn't give a fuck. So I wouldn't want Cooper Kupp. I would rather have that guy there pressing, literally doing exactly what I said, pressing him, making Drake May better because he needs the competition, and I'm not sold on him. We've talked about this before. Like, he's already been crowned and he hasn't done enough to be crowned. So we can't crown this guy yet. We still have to keep competition around. And I'm more
totally
interested in that.
Do you know what helps Drake May 1,000 times more?
I agree. A good receiver. I 100% agree.
You or I could. No one knows who's right on this, but I just disagree that Cooper Kupp would shut it down. I think Cooper Kupp is a professional and a competitor, and I don't think he would come to the Patriots and just shut it down. I think he'd play and be fine. We can have the argument on whether Cooper Kupp is good or not. We can't have the argument on whether Joe Milton is good or not, and whether he's a beast. He's not going to be good. He's not even going to. Anyway, so that was our little tangent on the Drake May versus Cooper Kupp.
Boom. Look at that. Mooney on my side.
Patrick, look at Kupp's last 8 game stats. It's fucking horrific. Milton has league interest. Bide your time and let Milton look good in garbage time games and peak the trade value. You're never going to have a higher trade value for Joe Milton than you have right now. Put that on the record.
This is what fucking Mooney. No, this is what Mooney does on Madden right now.
But it depends on what they do with him. But still, either way, his value is to the team as a backup quarterback. You get rid of. You don't have to pay anybody to the backup quarterback. You can use that money in other sections, and you'll find out what he is. Because he does push Drake May because he's taller, he's stronger, he throws the ball farther. So he does have the physical characteristics that Drake May has to be aware that if he actually learned how to play quarterback, he'd be better.
I don't think he's going to push him at all. But either way, Cooper Kupp. Can I just give you this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it to me, baby.
Can I just give you this? So I gave you the full season stats last year. 67 catches, 710 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Two of those touchdowns came against the Patriots.
His last 8 games is what Ding Dong just said?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just go from it. 1 catch, 3 catch, 5 catch, 3 catch, 8 catch, 6 catch, 7 catch. 80 yards, 106 yards, 60 yards, 17 yards, 92 yards, 24, 29. With 4 touchdowns in that.
Toast.
I mean, what do you want from that? What do you want to do? Look up Demario Douglas's stats? Keyshawn Booty? What do you want? What do you want? If you don't want Cooper Kupp on the Patriots, you're an idiot. Sorry. You are the worst team in the league if you don't take Cooper Kupp.
Already the worst team in the league.
If you don't take Cooper Kupp for Joe Milton, you're a fool.
You're an idiot.
That trade's not happening because I don't think either side is interested in that trade.
I agree with you. But it's not about the trade. It's about the idea that Joe Milton is anything worth anything. He's not. You fucking dopes. This isn't directed at you, Bobby. Just
I know.
Shut up about Joe Milton. You fucking dopes. Good. The Bills outsucked you on purpose so you wouldn't get the first overall pick. They bamboozled. They put the rug over Gerard Mayo's eyes and
They did.
outsucked you in that last week. And Joe Milton took the bait as well. And he looked like a Hall of Famer. And all you guys think he's a Hall of Famer now. He's not.
Because he did a backflip.
Blows.
He did a backflip.
He
God damn it.
blows. Good God, the internet is stupid.
Who's not picking up the phone? The Rams or the Patriots?
The
Both
Rams.
parties.
The fucking Rams.
Both parties.
Here's
Both
Elliot Wolf.
parties. Oh, no. You want Milton? No. Don't pick it up. Don't pick it up.
Here's-
Fuck you, Bobby.
Staying here.
Elliot Wolf with his hand shaking.
And-
Hey, Sean. I was thinking it might be cool if you guys are thinking you might need a quarterback for the future. We got Joe. And laughter pursues in the background. And Sean McVay is
Trying to be like, hold on there, Elliot. I'm actually getting blown by your mother right now.
Yeah.
So if you could just shut the fuck up, and when she's done, I'll call you and tell you what the offer is.
in the same vein that he laughed in Belichick's face for taking Cole Strange in the first round when they were talking about taking him in the fourth round. He
Yeah.
goes, "Go on, Elliot." So we like, what do you think about giving us Cooper Kupp for Joe Milton? And then he actually shits through the phone in his mouth and hangs it up. That's how that one would
Gagging.
go.
Bah.
Fucking idiots, Bobby.
Why is NASCAR still a thing?
Good
The
question.
South?
Next.
The South?
I know there's a lot of dumb people.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Never mind.
Remember when it was getting promoted real hardcore and it was like in the mainstream there? Like they had the Ricky Bobby movie, all that shit.
Yeah, then Dale
Dale
Earnhardt died.
Fell off the planet.
Dale Earnhardt died like 40 years ago, right?
Was it really 40 years ago?
It was probably like 30.
This one's fun. LeVar Ball had his foot amputated. I don't know if you heard this. He had his foot amputated.
I think I sent this out. Yeah.
Rich, are you getting worried?
Can I ask a question about LeVar Ball?
Certainly.
Does he have all his teeth?
I don't know. I only saw the story about his foot. He also said that he could grow it back if he wanted.
Did he a lizard? Yeah, he did say
He,
that.
he said that, yes.
I think actually I read that he's next for the Trump cabinet too. You could be in on that one, Ray. I would ask if he had all his teeth because it has been confirmed to me that if you take your teeth out, you don't get diabetes. So for all of you people that think Joe Milton's the next second coming, that's an actual fact for you. If you take your teeth out, you don't get diabetes.
Not his real teeth, apparently.
Stop putting him on the screen.
So
right
then
now.
you should be worried.
I'm slightly worried.
Should Jamar Chase be the highest non-paid QB, highest non-QB in the league in the NFL?
Yeah. Yes.
him-
If Joe Burrow actually wants to be a top 6 quarterback for the rest of his career, you better hope he has his binky in Jamar Chase. Otherwise, he's going to be a dipshit top 15 quarterback like he actually should be. They need to pay that guy. The Bengals are desperate for a championship. They have a good quarterback in Joe Burrow. Yes, you have to pay him if that's what it's going to take. Yeah, pay him. It's not going to work. It never worked when you do that, but they probably should because they'll lose Joe Burrow if they don't. That's the thing.
If you don't make
Yeah,
the
he seems to hold all the
franchise guy
keys
happy.
down there right now. I don't know if Jamar Chase is the best player non-quarterback in the league, but he deserves to get paid that way for a year until the next guy overtakes him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's better than Jefferson.
No, yeah, and it's just when does this money thing stop going nuts? Because as you just said, the biggest contract this year is not going to be the biggest contract next year, and this year's money is not going to be anything close to what 5 years' money is. We actually won't even have money because of Ray in like 4 or 5 years. So we'll all be working off some golden-haired coin.
I didn't even do anything. Took an edible and I just started drinking. That's all I did today.
Next,
That is the last question.
very good.
Simplest minds right after this.
Wait, what about what if?
Nah, we're not ready for that tonight. You want to do it? We can do it.
I'm here, man. Wait,
Yeah, but you're gonna shit all over me, and I don't think it's the right time.
I need
to
it.
do
I need it. I need the therapy.
I need it. I need it.
All right, fine.
You owe it. You owe it
quick
to me. You
Quick, yeah, quick. I owe it to you. I did it.
Restless mind.
Wow, that's good.
What do you got? Don't
Uh,
fucking sucker up to me right now, you.
That was a good two.
douchebag.
What? What did I do?
Don't do it. Don't you brown nose me right now with my
That's a good
beautiful
tune. I
lyrics.
like it. It's beautiful. I fucking
Silky bird voice.
Sounds great. It sounds like
Hush that
doves waking me
child.
up in the morning.
What are we doing right now?
What ifs? What if biggest sports in Boston sports history? What
Oh
if?
no, that's good description. Keep going.
What if?
I'm sorry. I won't be.
What if Aaron Hernandez didn't die? That was one of my thoughts. What if Aaron Hernandez didn't die going into that 2013 season?
didn't
He
die or get
didn't
arrested?
die. He murdered
Arrested. I'm sorry, arrested. If he didn't arrest and if he didn't pew several men because they knew he was gay, like Bobby.
What would have happened?
Yeah, like what would have happened with the Patriots?
That was 2012 or 2013.
2012. So he wasn't able to play in the 2013 season.
Oh, 2013. If that was the case, you would not have got Darrelle Revis in 2014, and you may never have won a Super Bowl. Again,
Interesting take.
Interesting, because I think there would be more Lombardi trophies here in New England.
nope. Darrelle, the idea that you went so long without a Super Bowl, 2013. Where'd the
2 years
2013 end in Denver, right?
I think they
No,
lost
against
in
Baltimore.
Denver.
They lost. No, they
Yes.
lost in Baltimore.
No, 2012 they lost to Baltimore. 2013, I think they
Oh,
lost
sorry,
to
yes.
Denver. Peyton Manning's Denver
That was
Broncos.
Peyton Manning's first year in Denver. Yes.
And
that-
then the Broncos lost to the Seahawks.
2013 was the blowout to Denver, right? 2015 was the one where Gronk could have caught the 2-point conversion and they almost made the miraculous comeback. Do I have those
2013 was
flipped?
when it was the warmest day in Denver history in January. Everyone was hoping for a cold day. So
It was basically a blowout
yeah,
for the Patriots. Yeah. If you have Aaron Hernandez there, it's not a blowout, but you're probably still not good. It prompted the Patriots to reinvest, to recalibrate, go make their best defense in 12 years with Revis and Browner and that whole squad. The 2014 roster was the best roster since the 2004 Patriots.
That team was loaded.
With Aaron Hernandez on the team, you're that much better, and you probably don't get to do that. And then
but he was already signed. Remember, they already signed him.
Yeah, that's money. That's money.
But that was already on the table. That was already on the table. Was that dead cap because he was?
If someone
still on the
gets
roster?
arrested, that money goes off the book. That money goes off the cap. You bring lawyers involved, and you got insurance, and that shit goes out the window. They're certainly not paying them in cash, and that's the only way the crafts operate. Fuck
There's
cash.
murder insurance on fucking contracts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they didn't pay Aaron Hernandez's contract. Are you nuts? No, breach of contract. You ever heard of someone getting misfired because they suck at their job? Well, if you go murder somebody, you get fired and you don't get a severance package.
That's interesting.
Okay? That's what happened to Aaron
Right,
Hernandez. They didn't pay
Unless
that man
you-
any more money.
You had it in
I
the
think-
contract that you could do that.
Yeah. Didn't his fiance sue or at least approach the Patriots for back pay and they didn't give it to her? Or maybe they gave her like they may have settled out of like PR reasons. I think they gave her like $750,000 when she wanted the whole contract.
Yeah,
don't-
didn't she write something like all the stuff she was like spending money on? It was like
Yeah.
pants for her and dance lessons for her daughter that were like $7,000 a class, or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah. Long story short, I think the Patriots were better with Darrelle Revis and Browner in taking that move to becoming a more balanced team than continuing the path from 2007 and being an offensive dominating team. And Aaron Hernandez is not a big enough difference maker than Darrelle Revis and Browner in that defense. So they were better off in that.
So you're pro Aaron Hernandez killing people because they found out he was gay.
And as a Patriots fan and what I know it amounted to, yes.
Okay.
Also, RIP to the families and the deceased.
What if the Red Sox didn't win in 2004?
Ooh, good question.
What if they were down 3-0 and they got swept by the Yankees? And what would have happened after that?
That is a good question.
They would have had to retool. Pedro's gone. Schilling's gone. They would have had to retool their pitching staff. Their
Does
roster
Manny
was,
become Manny? Gets a little earlier in his career because now he's malcontent because he's not.
They
winning?
moved Manny. They tried to move Manny before. They tried to move Manny for A-Rod in 2004.
Yeah.
So
So now
another
that you just lost the
disappointing
World
loss.
Series, yeah, and ALCS rather.
Yeah, you probably shifted up. Although they just brought in Tito. Like the pursuit of it will remain the same, but you lose some big names. You lose Pedro, Schilling, Manny, and they spend a ton of money bringing guys to replace them. And whoever that is, I don't know, inevitably they probably win a World Series because they were dedicated on spending money.
They won one before 07.
Theo Epstein is never the golden boy that wins that. So then the Red Sox don't beat it. So then he never goes to the Cubs, and the Cubs never win a World Series, and both streaks are active.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Baseball
You like
Bobby.
that?
Wow.
Suck it, Ray.
Baseball Bobby.
Rich is getting a chub over there.
Yeah, did you see his face light up when he said that?
Yeah, that was good. Last one I had was, what if the Patriots never beat the Rams in that first Super Bowl?
It's a great question.
It's a good question. I think so. I think you have to look at that and go, who is Brady? Who is Belichick? Because you come back the next year and they missed the playoffs, so it's not like they just went on a tear.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
still, and your roster was still the same. I think I don't know if you come back and say they win in 03 and 04. They had the best roster in the league in 2004, potentially the best roster in 20 years in 2004. They were absolutely fucking loaded. I don't know if losing in 2001 does anything to them. They never expected to be there. They had no business being there. The
But
biggest thing,
galvanized their Belichick and Brady's beliefs in themselves.
but don't you think just getting there would have done that anyway?
It's fair.
But does Belichick now become one of those coaches that can't win the big one? He was a loser in Cleveland. He comes to New England.
Yeah.
Oh, so close.
No. All of them, none of them. You were a bottom of the barrel team in 2001. You had no business being there.
Yeah.
The Patriots were celebrated just for getting there. The fact that they won was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's the same trajectory, and I think because Brady is Brady, it maybe even fuels them harder. Like they go and they win. The mystique of 2001 takes a hit, but at this point, 20-something years later, we don't even talk about the mystique of 2001 anymore. We just talk about the mystique of Brady being unbelievable for 20-something years.
Brady. Yeah.
So in that little early 2000s period, you lose the holy shit, you beat the greatest show on turf, but I don't think it changes the trajectory of Brady. And you probably,
he was still driven. He was still a player. He still had that talent.
well,
Last one I had.
although let me add this: it may you may see maybe not a dynasty. Dare I say a dynasty from Kurt Warner and the Rams? I don't remember what happened to the Rams after that, but they certainly didn't.
Wow.
Like a good team, but they didn't compete at that level.
What was that guy's name? Dick.
Talent.
What was Dick? The first
Dick
coach.
Vermeil?
He retired after that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, and
The
then
whole
Mike
one.
Martz took over.
And then they had a little run with Mark Brunell because Kurt Warner was washed, and
Mark
they sent him to,
Bulger.
yes.
And wasn't who are the receivers? The receivers are at
Isaac
were at the
Bruce.
tail end too. Isaac
And
Bruce,
Torrey Holt.
Corey Holt,
They were kind of at the tail end
Marshall
too,
Falk.
right?
Marshall Falk. I've retired.
Ricky
Ricky Prohl.
Prohl, the white guy
White.
caught that touchdown at the end. That we
White guy, yep.
And they couldn't. So maybe they get a certainly from a historical standpoint, they get a boost. They win a Super Bowl. They're considered one of the better or great teams of the generation. So it has more impact on the Rams than I think on the Patriots.
Fair.
Last one. What if Kevin Garnett said nay to coming to Boston?
You're dead in the water. You don't have Tatum. You don't have Brown. You don't have anybody.
What does the makeup of the Celtics look like right now just because of that one player saying no?
Wildly unpredictable. You'd have to go look at the repercussions. Like you'd be drafting.
Well, because Pierce wanted out. That's the only way to make Pierce happy. So
Pierce
would be gone. He wouldn't stayed.
They would look like the Knicks. They would have been a middling bad team. Maybe they get some good players to figure out a few things, but they would be of the caliber of a New York Knicks, how they have been for the past 20 years.
Yeah, you'd be the Bridgie Celtics. You'd be the Isaiah Thomas Celtics, maybe a little bit better with some money. Because Pierce leaves. You can't trade Pierce, Garnett, and Terry to the Nets, which then got you Brown and Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Danny Ainge's trades. My God.
yeah, that's a good one. Your whole
Ray Allen doesn't come because that whole thing
gone.
was Ray Allen trade was to get Kevin Garnett here to show that
you're still championship list. You don't have two. They've won two since then.
You're looking for Banner 17.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Isn't it crazy though that one player could do that? Like make you just be like, holy fuck! Now we've gone from this like winning organization. Now we're just like losers. We're the Knicks. We're the fucking Nets. What
if KD never went to the Warriors? Do the Warriors win as much? And KD's legacy is trash. KD is James Harden.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Warriors still probably get one or two more. They're still good. They still have a legacy. It's more about KD. What's he?
Yeah, he would never have a ring.
He hasn't been shit since.
Nope. Like one of the greatest talents of all time, but he'll always have a but. And James Harden, like if James Harden went to the Warriors, they probably would have dragged him to the championship too. Imagine like flip those two players in their careers. If James Harden went to the Warriors when KD did. I mean, I give great credit for KD.
What if Chris Paul could actually make it through a 7-game series and not be a stupid little bitch? Then the Rockets would have beaten the Warriors in that series, and then they would have won that title that year.
We could do this all day. The Celtics one, the Garnett one's good because that's a generational change.
Yeah.
It just
what if that Game 7 against the Lakers that they didn't make it a wrestling match? The Celtics would have won that series.
Yeah, 2010.
Yes, starting 5 still undefeated. Doc Rivers. Yep.
I saw this thing the other day. The 2008 Celtics are the greatest team of all time. Why? They won a championship with Doc Rivers as their head coach.
That's why that team should go down as the best ever.
That's fair.
Best ever.
That's fair.
All right, let's do Simplest Minds of the Week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
What do you got, Raymond?
I don't know if you've seen the news, but the biggest one is
I've seen the news. I've been paying attention to the news pretty heavily.
Sports news. Steve Smith Senior is in the news. I don't know if you've seen it, Rich, but hopefully this will cheer your day up.
This dude just had the greatest 24-hour stretch I've ever seen on the internet. He actually ended up exposing Steve Smith Sr., but in reality, it just made him look worse. But still, his run was absolutely incredible. See, this guy is Tony Martinez, and he has a wife named Nicole, who actually is in the marching band for the Baltimore Ravens. Anyway, Tony decided yesterday he was just gonna randomly create a Twitter account, and his very first post was calling out his wife for having an affair with Steve Smith Sr. And the text this guy put out was absolutely embarrassing, to say the least. And unfortunately, they were so bad that I can't even show them. I mean, this guy was posting under every single big account on Twitter so it can get the most views possible. He even posted a video of him calling Steve Smith and leaking his phone number. And what makes this situation even worse and actually way more hilarious is that Steve Smith actually led the marching band before a Ravens home game back in November. So yeah, one of the greatest internet runs I've ever seen. But honestly, if you read those text messages, I don't blame the guy.
Ali.
2 questions. Okay, you have the text message?
Yep.
2 questions.
I saw the first one.
First question, Baltimore has a marching band?
Apparently.
No wonder they're not winning. Like, get that out of there. You're not.
Second question.
Can we see the text messages?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. So obviously we know this is an Android phone because it's stupid green. It says, "Take me deep down your throat like you kind of like. You wanted to suck me off?" She says, "I did. I would have come on it, but I had to come home." Steve Smith says, "You enjoy it? You like it? Like you like to feel it?" "I like feeling it deep in my wet pussy," says this guy's wife. He says, "Me too. Letting you taste it would be such a turn on. I would have shot my nut all inside your pussy." She says, "I love making you come. I enjoy it more when you come inside me." He says, "Noted. You get to feel it."
Noted. I just like hearing Ray talk dirty.
Yeah, it's getting me hot.
But then he called up the guy. The guy goes, "Hey man, you're fucking my wife," and Steve Smith's just like, "Sorry."
Yeah, I don't think Steve Smith gives a shit.
Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, probably.
Sorry, dude. Who is this again?
Noted is the funniest line.
Noted.
I like when you come deep inside me. Noted. I'll put that down.
I'll continue to do that.
I'll jot that down. Okay, thank you.
I need a ledger. Honey, I need to put this down in the ledger when I fuck this girl behind your back.
Put that in the ledger. Noted.
Noted.
There you go. No, yeah, Steve Smith does not even take a hit here. Like that
guy does. Who's more? Who takes the hit more? Steve Smith or this guy?
The girl. Can we victim shit? Can we victimize the girl?
So first of all,
the
Steve
girl
Smith
never
married?
gets fucked. With these things.
So did he have a problem here?
Wait, what's that, Bobby? I didn't hear you.
Was Steve Smith married? So was he cheating? Was he just banging this guy's wife, or was he cheating as well?
Oh, he was cheating as well.
Oh,
I got it.
No, yeah, then he takes a hit.
But he's also a professional player, so that's duly noted.
He also has the reputation of just being kind of like a bad guy, bad boy. You know, he was a trash talker.
Just generally is a prick.
Gotten a bunch of shit. I didn't. Yeah, if he's married, yeah, you can't do that. But yeah, also like you assume the worst from guys like that.
Wait, so if he wasn't married, it'd be fine that he's fucking this guy's wife?
Yeah, why not? Whatever.
I mean, from a like
my mother's married. You guys keep fucking her.
Yeah, but you're dead.
Yeah, we do.
You watch this from the corner.
You want to see our messages?
Yeah.
You insulted peanuts. Just fucking.
Yeah, let's put our text message up. We need more chips.
Yeah, we should do that. Can we put our text messages up?
There's nothing sexual about it. We're just asking
really
for snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Need some more salsa.
If I get crushed one more time on my PB&J, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Yeah, light toast would be great.
Really?
Ooh, yeah, light toast PB&J. Actually, I don't mind the crust.
You toast your PB&J?
Oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll do a toasted PB&J. I mean, I don't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the regular because I'm a 40-year-old man. But you know,
well, pussy,
when I'm feeling it. Or if the kids want something and I got a little extra juice, like you guys want some toasted PB&J? Hell yeah!
Is that to get the coldness out of the peanut butter that you have in the refrigerator?
You don't toast it with peanut butter on it, you fool.
I'm just saying you have warm bread because your peanut butter's cold because it's in the refrigerator like a fucking weirdo.
It's the confliction of the chemistry. You've got the crunch, which brings out different flavors out of the bread, which is why you like toast. And then you've got a nice chilled peanut butter, a nice chilled jelly, thin layer on each. You crunch up, you get a nice crunch. That's why people like chips in their sandwiches. It's about the texture.
Is it creamy or smooth? I mean, creamy or crunchy?
Ask your mother. This has been the Superman Sports Show, Friday Rewind, live Wednesday night. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.